Welcome! So today I'm going to chat with you about setting a vision for the year. This topic is really close to my heart. I'm very passionate about personal development, and I always have been. We are never done learning, and we are never done pushing ourselves to be better. Everyone has a legacy. What's their legacy going to be? I really want to kick the conversation off with something from Jeff Weiner. He's the CEO at LinkedIn, and he is phenomenal. He's philosophical, he's mindful, he's so intelligent. Do you have one of those friends where everything that they say is just so deep and it just makes so much sense? They simplify to a point where you can easily internalize the concept. That's just how Jeff is for me. I definitely wanted to start this conversation off with something kind of his mantra. Because he's a thought leader in the space, a ton of people always ask him. What he tells them is, first you need to answer the question of what it is you're trying to accomplish. So starting out simple is very important because over-architecting things can just throw you for a loop. For you, I ask myself, what is it that I'm trying to accomplish? From there, whatever that statement is, that pretty much serves as my vision. The hardest thing after that point is really following through. Another reason why I think a vision is so important is because that allows me to make my personal and professional decisions couched in that lens. Once you identify what the vision is, what are those underlying goals that map to the broader vision? It's the same thing as just walking. If you're walking aimlessly, things will come up spontaneously, and it may be a great surprise and it may be a terrible experience. But if you know exactly where you're trying to walk, then you'll know what path to take to get there. That's my analogy. So in the same way, in order to know what you have to do to achieve, you have to know what you're trying to achieve first. The vision is the what, and the goals are the how. That's how you achieve what your vision is going to be. Now, one thing to note when setting out your goals, and something I keep in mind, and I ran into many walls around this, is when you set your goals, you don't want to make it too small of a goal where it's so easy for you to complete, because it's kind of like sandbagging it, right? You want to be able to push yourself. You want to be operating at peak capacity. On the flip side, you don't want to make it too big of a goal where it's overwhelming, it's near impossible to achieve. It makes you disengaged, it makes you uninspired because you're not making that much traction because it's such a big goal. I've done that before. I've started a couple of projects where I made this humongous overarching goal that I wanted to complete in a year, and it was just nowhere near possible. And so every time I would check back in with a goal and see that I wasn't making progress, I would be sad and I'd be disappointed with myself. At some point, I would just decide, I'm not going to do this anymore. I can't deal with it. It's too big of a task. That's what happens when we set too large of goals. The best thing to do is really find that sweet spot between the small goal and the very large goal, stretch goal. The stretch goal is not something so easy for you to complete. It's something that requires hard work and dedication, but it's definitely something achievable. Mindset is literally everything, peeps. If I know that I have to do something and I put it as a goal, but I don't really want to do it, I'm not mentally ready to do it, when I actually try to complete the task, I'm probably not going to do it very well because I'm just not in the right frame of mind. When you come across these situations, it's always helpful to remember and remind yourself why you want to do this goal. So you realize, okay, the benefit in doing this is X, Y, Z. For the tracking piece, I like to use spreadsheets to write them all out. What is my overarching 5-year plan? Then what is my 1-year plan that bleeds into the 5-year? And then of that 1 year, what are my specific goals that I want to achieve? And then come back and check in and document the status of my progress. You can't really fix what you can't measure, and you can't measure without data. So if I want to look back and say, hey, let's look at 3 years ago, what were my goals then? If I didn't write it down, all I'd have is my memory. And who knows how great my memory is. It could be good sometimes, and then sometimes it's non-existent. There was this study that was done that proved if you write your goals, you're 42% more likely to actually complete the goals. When you write your goals down, it brings clarity to the person. It also declares purpose. Writing just kind of seals and confirms that that's something that you yourself are personally committing to for the year. We all go through our challenges of fulfilling certain goals and not fulfilling other goals, but I think the more you share, the more you talk about it with your friends, the more opportunity that they have to help keep you accountable, and we can all do it together. Don't be disappointed if you miss a goal. It's all good. Each day is a new day, and it's a new step forward.
So to recap on what we discussed today, here are a couple of highlights. We started out with our vision. An easy way to establish what your vision is to answer the question, what do you ultimately want to accomplish? In terms of following through with your vision, we discussed 3 key steps that will really aid you in the process. Step number 1, setting the right level of goals. Setting goals for yourself that are at the right level. They shouldn't be too small and they shouldn't be too large, just enough to pull the best out of you and make you push yourself. You also want to make sure that the goals that you set are actionable. Step number 2, having the right mindset. We want to make sure that we're always remembering the reason why we're doing the things that we're doing. Sometimes we get so caught up in the day-to-day that we forget, but remembering what the personal motivation is behind the why will help you navigate through those unmotivating times. Step number 3, write your goals down and track your progress. It's an awesome way to keep yourself accountable and stay motivated.